If you ask UAE, Saudi, Jordan, Egypt, Bahrain, what kind of Middle East they want to see 10 years from now, it will be fundamentally opposed to what I think Qatar wants to see 10 years from now. What we would like to see is more secular, stable, prosperous, empowered, strong governments. What we've seen Qatar do for the last 10 to 15 years is support groups like the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, Taliban, Islamist militias in Syria, Islamist militias in Libya, exactly the opposite direction we think our region needs to go. So our disagreement is about what the future of the Middle East should look like.
What's the workable future for Syria? What are your thoughts about how a political solution, what would it look like in Syria, and how could we get there? It's a slight modification, but I think it's your question, Mark.
So in a perfect world, if everything was very easy to accomplish and someone somewhere had a magic wand, I think the elements would look would include, one, you'll definitely need a new constitution. Two, you'll need to dilute some of the presidential powers and make the new Syria more into a parliamentary system. You will need to overrepresent the minorities in parliament the way you did in Lebanon. But first and foremost, before all of these things, what we look for in the new Syria is a secular democratic Syria, secular being the main operative word. What we want to avoid is religious groups, be it from Muslim Brotherhood on one end to ISIS and Nusra on the other end, taking political control of a political system or taking advantage of a political system. And let me be clear about what we're fighting for. The UAE is the promise of a new Middle East. The UAE is the promise of a new Middle East.